Hey everybody, it's Mr. Cellophane. Thank you so very much to everybody who tuned in to the premiere episode of The Return of 1860 Munich. I hope you're enjoying it so far. We've had a very busy summer. Sure, we are not signing any new players, but we had a ton of staff spots available to be filled. Plus, we've got our first regular season matchup coming after a very long and productive preseason. And we kick off our first round action in the DFB Pokal, even though the draw wasn't so great for us. As you can see, we were very busy on the staffing front. Obviously, we got hired, but a number of coaches, physios, recruitment analysts, performance analysts, all brought in. We did have a couple of staff members go out as well. Obviously, Maurizio Giacobacci, we replaced him as our head coach. And Franz Hubel was one of our two assistant coaches. We actually ended up accidentally signing too many coaches, and we needed to find room for him. So, unfortunately, Hubel was the odd man out. On the player front, not much happened. In fact, most of this was before we took over. Raphael Holzhauser in on loan from OH Leuven. Going out, Stefan Salger, Richard Neudecker, Adrian Suleiman, Zem Savici, all going out on freeze. Lorenz Noferi and Michael Gluck going out on loan. We did have one player sale, though. Hoffenheim came in. Eric Talig, a 22-year-old, was not happy with us. He wanted to go. He was going to explore his options. Hoffenheim was his preferred choice. Did we get enough for him? His value rocketed up. We got $70,000 up front. The deal could balloon up to £98,000. We probably could have done better, but we didn't want to make the player unhappy by pushing things too much. Ultimately, he did reject a deal that would have netted us £115,000, but such is life. We do have £7,000 now in the transfer budget, but of course we're not making any transfers. That's going to come in January after we see how we do. Meanwhile, of course, the season is set to begin. We start on the road with Dynamo Dresden, and as I mentioned in the intro, we got a draw that isn't very favorable for us in the DFB Pokal first round. It's Bayern Munich, the number one team in all of Germany. Yeah, we're probably going to lose, but the match is going to be on TV, so win or lose, we get £500,000. Maybe worth it. We just need to put up a good showing. I think the board's going to be happy as long as we don't get blown out. Let's see how we do. Before we head into the game, just a very quick reminder. We are expected to come in third place this season by the media. That's where the board would like us to finish. It is a playoff spot, and that would take us on our first step back to the Bundesliga. Unfortunately, we have no players in the Media Dream 11. As you can see, some differences in the starting lineup expected for our season opener against Dynamo Dresden than what we talked about in episode 1. Primarily, we're going with a 4-3-3, which is going to mirror our opponents. Hiller is going to start in goal. We have Steinhardt at left back. Lannart's going to be on the right-hand side. Verlat is going to be partnered with somebody new. It's going to be Leandro Morgalla. He fulfills one of our U23 spots. He is just a physical specimen and showed us a ton during the preseason friendlies. Reeder's still going to be in the starting lineup, though. He's going to be anchoring the midfield. He's going to have Diekman and Holzhauser in front of him. On the left wing is going to be Vrenenzi, and we have Marcel Barr, who will be wearing the captain's armband today and for the season on the right wing. And even though Finn Lockenmacher had a great preseason, Maris Skenderovic had an even better one. So Skenderovic is going to get the start at striker this afternoon. And because we are starting off, it is a new season. It's a new team. It may take us a little bit of time to find our footing. We're going to be spending this first month of games really trying to figure out who we are, who we can be, and what kind of team we actually have in front of us. But today we're taking on Marcus Anfang. He's got a 4-3-3 going with his team from Dynamo Dresden as the 3 Liga season is ready to get underway. Now, one of the things about this 4-3-3 that we're running, it's a little bit more on the defensive side, doing a good job with crossing the ball. That's something that we're working on. We're also working on movement and getting back and making sure that the opponent isn't going to get behind our defensive line. As Mayer brings it up, sends it in the middle, and Christian Conte gets Dynamo Dresden on the board. 1-0, and an auspicious start to the 1860 Munich season, I have to say. But it does look like fate is on our side, as the goal is going to be disallowed. He was calling for offside. Not what we want to see. We want our center backs to be able to get up in the air, to be a little bit more responsible defensively. We need to play like a team that is set to make the playoffs this year. Dresden in control once again. Borikowski sends it up. Kuczki puts it past Hiller, who comes out trying to make the aggressive play, and he is onside. It is now 1-0 Dynamo Dresden. The first 23 minutes have gone by the wayside, and right now it's been all Dynamo Dresden as far as we have seen. We have managed only one shot on goal. It did hit the target. Right now we've got no points. We are sitting in 17th place, but the season has just begun, and there is a lot of football left to play, not only this year, but even this afternoon. 5 minutes remaining in the opening half. Can we get a highlight before we hit the locker room? No, we don't. We did manage to get a bunch of shots off, though. We now are out shooting Dresden 5-3. 3 of those 5 shots have found their targets. We've completed 90% of our passes, which is always a good thing. And we're winning a bunch of tackles as well. And the possession battle has even gone our way. Unfortunately, the scoreboard tells a different story. We have made one change heading into the second half. Martin Kobylanski is going to come on in place of Holzhauer. He was feeling a little apprehensive, a little nervous about the game, and we can't afford that right now. As Steinhardt sends it across, bar hits the woodwork. Unfortunate. Cleared away, though. Steinhardt gets it again. Franzetti in the middle, tackled hard. Melchenko gives up the penalty, and Dynamo Dresden has maybe seeded a chance for us to bring it even. Kobylanski drills it into the top of the net. His first goal of the year, the first goal of the Amos Hart regime, and we have equalized this game at 1 apiece just inside 53 minutes. Kobylanski putting it into the top right corner, taking advantage of the penalty shot, and now I feel a little bit better as we make our way forward, because we have been able to see a little bit of that offense, even though we are in a more defensive mindset right now for this game. We knew that Dresden was going to come at us. We knew that they were going to be aggressive. So we countered that with our own defensive stance. We mirrored their tactic. And sure, they got the goal in the first 5-6 minutes. But we have been able to draw even. And we're going to need to make some additional changes as we get into the final 10 minutes of this game. Barr is a little tired. He did suffer a few injuries during the preseason. He's going to come out. Joseph Boyamba is going to take his place. We are also, you know what? Marish Skenderovich, we're going to give Lakemacher a chance for the last 10 minutes. 2 more changes we bring on as we hope that maybe we can get a positive result out of this match. But after the way things started, a 1-1 draw against Dynamo Dresden is not the worst way for us to kick off this season. 3 minutes have been added on, and it looks like they are going to fall by the wayside. The full-time whistle has sounded. We got the penalty from Kobylanski in the 53rd minute to equalize after Stefan Kuczki scored in the 16th minute. It is 1-1, Dynamo Dresden and 1860 Munich. Not a win, but we took points from our first match. Well, because I'm not as technically adept as I'd like to believe, there'll be no live commentary for the DFB Pokal matchup in the first round against Bayern Munich. But we'll take a look at the highlights. As you can see from the score on the top, this game was all Bayern Munich, and they got started real quick. moving the ball up, holding possession right from the opening kickoff. Mateus de Ligt finds Davies ahead for Musiala. João Cancelo feeding it to Thomas Müller, who puts it past Hiller just 32 seconds into this match. And they didn't stop there. Blind from distance with a cheeky shot. I don't think Hiller even realized that was going to be on target. Coming again in the 46th minute, just at the death of the first half, Thomas Müller with his second. He added a fourth goal with a penalty in the 90th minute. He had 4. Daley Blind, obviously, with the other goal. We did manage 10 shots on goal against Bayern Munich in front of a capacity crowd at the Grunwalder Stadion. But sadly, it was not enough. At least the board is going to be happy because they made £500,000 because this game was on TV. And we'll be rejoining the action with 1860 Munich as we play through some of the early season games. We'll be back with episode 3 as we kick off the games to start the month of September. If you like that, be sure to hit that like button. Give us a nice big thumbs up. It'll really do me a huge favor. Show me your appreciation. And if you want more Football Manager content, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. We hope to see you for the next episode of Lionhearted, The Rise of 1860 Munich. Until then, bye-bye.